1979 Canada 5-cent coin. Today, we're diving deep into this ubiquitous little piece of metal. We'll explore its fascinating design, its role in a changing economy, and, most importantly, is there a rare variety that could make this coin worth more than pocket change? Stick around, you might be surprised what's hiding in your collection. Let's start with the basics. On the obverse, we have the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. This is the familiar second effigy, designed by Arnold Machin, showing the Queen wearing a diamond tiara. You can see the inscription, Elizabeth II d. Regina, Latin for, Elizabeth II, Queen by the grace of God. Zoom in on the date, 1979 and, of course, the date, 1979. This year is significant for reasons we'll get to in a moment. Reverse, transition to the beaver side. Use a graphic to highlight the beaver and the designer's initials. Now for the most beloved side, the reverse. This features the iconic North American beaver, a foundational symbol of Canadian heritage, sitting on a log or rock, with the water below. This design, created by artist G. E. Kruger Gray, has been in continuous use since 1937, and it is an absolute classic of world coinage. Graphic overlays. Diameter. The coin itself is made of 99.9% pure nickel, which gives it that distinctive silver-gray color and satisfying weight in your hand. This composition was standard for the era. What was happening in Canada in 1979? Well, gas prices were rising, Joe Clark was briefly Prime Minister, and the country was minting coins like never before. Graphic showing the huge mintage number, 186, 295, 825. The 1979 Canadian nickel holds a special place in the history books for a simple reason: massive mintage. The Royal Canadian Mint produced an astounding 186,295,825 circulation strikes for that year. Side-by-side comparison of 1979 mintage versus a lower mintage year. To put that in perspective, the 1970 nickel had a mintage of only around 5.7 million. The 1979 run was almost 33 times larger. This massive supply is why the 1979 nickel is generally one of the most common coins you'll find today. Transition to the value section with a graphic, value check. So, if they made so many, is this coin worthless? Not so fast. The massive mintage is actually a fascinating starting point when we discuss value. Hand placing a worn 1979 coin on the table. In worn condition, the kind you find in your pocket, its value is face value, 5 cents. These were heavily circulated, and there's nothing rare about them. Graphic average uncirculated. About uncirculated coins, which show just a hint of wear, might fetch 50 cents to $1 from a collector who needs to fill a set. Still not a retirement fund. Graphic $1, $3.00. Slow motion shot of a beautiful, lustrous, brilliant uncirculated 1979 nickel, showing the cartwheel effect. The real jump in value comes with brilliant uncirculated coins, pieces that never saw circulation. Look for that full, frosty luster and sharp details on the beaver's fur and Queen's hair. These can easily command $1 to $3, and sometimes more. Graphic/table on screen. High grade certified $5, $20.00 plus, show an image of a PCGS or NGC slab 1979 nickel with a high grade. Now, the true collector pieces are those certified in mint state 65 or higher. Because so many were made, and so many went into circulation, finding a flawless, perfectly struck specimen is harder than you think. A top pop 1979 nickel, graded MS 66, could be worth $20 or more. It's all about scarcity in the highest grades. We've established that the 1979 nickel isn't inherently rare, but what about a variety? This is where the coin gets truly interesting for the dedicated collector. Graphic comparing the two portraits. The 1979 nickel introduced a slight but important change to the Queen's side, the obverse. This is known as the modified obverse or small portrait variety, super. Highlight the changes with arrows. In 1979, the Royal Canadian Mint subtly changed the design punches for all denominations. The easiest way to spot the modified portrait is the distance between the Queen's tiara and the denticles on the new 1979 design. The portrait is slightly smaller, pulling the points of the tiara further away from the rim. Focus on the bust detail. It is slightly shorter on the modified version. Secondly, the point of the Queen's bust is also moved further away from the rim dots. This redesign was done to make the portrait more proportional across all Canadian coins. Show 1979 is supposed to be the modified obverse. Here's the catch, the 1979 coin should only have the modified obverse. However, with massive mintages and human error, collectors are always on the hunt for a potential mule, a coin struck with the wrong die. The dreams show a theoretical 1979 struck with the 1965 to 1978 obverse. A 1979 nickel struck with the older, larger portrait would be an extremely rare and highly valuable error coin. While there are no widely acknowledged, certified examples of a 1979 with the original obverse, the hunt for such a mistake is what keeps this date exciting. So, there you have it. The 1979 Canadian nickel, a coin that, in circulated condition, is the definition of common montage of all the key details: beaver, queen, mintage number, high grade. It represents a change in design, a huge year for the Royal Canadian Mint, and the enduring symbol of the Canadian beaver. And, if you're a treasure hunter, it's the coin that always leaves the smallest possibility of a major, million-to-one error coin, shot of the coin being placed in a protective holder. So, next time you get a handful of nickels, don't just spend them. Take a moment to check that date. If it's 1979, check the condition, look for that crisp luster, and most importantly, check the Queen's tiara for that subtle but important modified. What's the oldest coin you have in your collection? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this dive into Canadian numismatics, smash that like button and subscribe for more coin history and value guides. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting.